Guys, welcome back to another episode of Angry Mac. Today we're going to be installing a fuel water separator filter in the Tinnie. We're going to be beach launching this thing. We're going to be taking it to areas where the fuel might not be perfect. So I thought, you know what, I had it here, let's install it. It separates the water or any contaminants that are inside the fuel and going through this before it hits your engine. Now, let's open this thing and show you exactly how to install it. You've got 2 inlets and 2 outlets that sits on the top of the housing of the filter. So you can actually set this up however you want, but just make sure you follow the arrows. That is where the fuel needs to pass through. So make sure your arrow is in for your fuel from your fuel tank and arrow out, which is where it goes to your outboard. I think we'll be putting it right here. I think that's the perfect spot. My future plans are to run a dive ladder here to get inside the boat, so I don't really need it in the way anywhere here, and this side's all my electrical. So I thought that would be the perfect space for it. It's not going to get knocked around. We're going to be installing the filter before the primer. So we've got plenty of line here to run to your inlet and then outlet into your outboard. So before we start cutting any lines, let's mount up the fuel filter so we know that's all nice and secure with the nut inserts coming through here, and then we can cut the line and bolt it up. So to install the housing onto the boat, we're going to be using nut inserts. All right, we've got our thread locker, which is the 567, a 13mm spanner. Let's put these on. So we're going to be using that inlet, that outlet, so we need to be bunging these ones up here. All right, that is now all done and dusted. We've got the arrow in and the arrow out. I'll just clean this thread locker up so it just looks a little bit better, and then we'll go install it. Brake cleaner. And you go from that to that. So much better. So I just put a bit of Sika. Now I've got some of the M6 bolts with a nylon washer. Now you can't say that it doesn't look good. That is perfect. All right, now that's all installed. We just got to cut the line, feed it through one side, the other, prime it up, and we're good to go. I want to leave myself enough so we can have full tilt or pivot of the outboard itself. So that's the number right there. We'll put this in a bucket so I know it doesn't go everywhere, and give it a cut. Yeah, a little bit, not as bad as I thought actually. Make sure you don't forget your clamps. Once it's all cut, it's just installing to each side of the filter. All right, I'll just go wipe my hands and then we'll tighten them up because I've got a bit of fuel. We've got plenty of fuel line here, especially for when the outboard pivots. Now it's just a matter of squeezing this and priming it up through the main filter. All right, now it's all installed. Let's start pumping. I reckon it's going to take a while because there's a lot of fuel in there. That's now full. The prime is now primed up and it's hard, so all the air is out of the system and we are good to go. that's it guys. That is how simple that filter is to install. So what I'll do now is I'll start it up, make sure that there's no leaks, and we're good to go. Pretty simple install for any of you guys at home that want to put one of these on your boat or your tinny. I definitely recommend it. So we're going to give it a start up in a second, make sure that there's no leaks, but that's it for that video guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. 20-minute installation for you guys playing at home. Hopefully there was enough info there for you guys to install yours, but hopefully we'll have fresh fuel for the rest of the duration with this boat guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. That's the next job, changing those bearings.